Well, hey guys, I wanted to bring you all a quick tour of this 2014 Mercedes-Benz C250 Sport. So in typical fashion, we'll go ahead and start off with the window sticker. So like I said, 2014 C250 Sport, 1.8 liter turbo inline 4 with direct injection, 201 horsepower, and 229 pound-feet of torque. Actually, I've driven one of these and they pack a really good little punch. They're a lot faster than you would expect from a 1.8. Suspension with stable leather bars, 17-inch wheels. Let's see, options on this one. We have the polar white paint is included, almond MB text, which is not leather, it's a vinyl. And then we have map pilot pre-wiring for 200, keyless go for 650. The AMG Winter Promotion 18-inch AMG twin 5-spoke alloy wheel for 500. The PO1 Premium Pack for 2500. 10-way power driver's seat. Actually, you can pause that if you want to read it all. It's going to take forever. And then the Sport Sedan is no charge. It's just an appearance package for the outside. You can have Sport or Luxury. This one has Sport suspension and brakes with Sport seats, bringing the total price to $40,900. Pretty up there on the price for such a small car, but you do get a lot of equipment. Gas mileage 22 city, 31 highway, 25 combined. German cars tend to exceed their EPA ratings, so that is some encouragement. Safety looks pretty good, 73% German. So starting off with the wheels, like I said, they are 18-inch 255/35 R18s wrapped in Continental Conti Pro contact tires. Same tires that are on my Fusion, and I absolutely hate them. They just suck. These are 94H, whereas mine are 96Vs. You can see your AMG wheels with your Mercedes-Benz crest there in the middle. This one is in white, like I said. C250 badge here, a little chrome strip running across the rear deck lid, and then your Mercedes-Benz emblem. You do have LED rear tail lamps, which is very nice. I love LED lights. And one way that you can distinguish that this one is a 250 from a 350 is by the single exhaust. If this were a 350 or a 300, it would have dual exhaust, but this one just has a single outlet, which designates that it is the 4-cylinder. Fuel filler door right over here. This one does have the comfort access package. You can see by the little indentions on the door handle. No blind spot warning or anything like that, but you do get LED turn signals on your mirrors. Wipers there, they wipe the windshield. You have just reflector beam headlights on this one, nothing special. This one does not have the HID lights, it's just standard reflector lights. And then you have LED daytime running lights down below, and then your giant Mercedes-Benz emblem there, and then the crest sits right up here on the hood. If this were a luxury one, I'm looking around to see if I can see a luxury one, but I'm not finding one. This would not be here, and it would be mounted up here on like older Mercedes. They used to do that, but this one does not have that. So we'll go ahead and jump inside, seeing as how this one is unlocked. Very solid and sturdy doors. You can hear you just get a nice solid whump. And it is dinging when you open the door. And then closing the door, still that great solid whump sound. I absolutely love it. Starting off with the steering wheel, it is wrapped in leather with perforated sections on either side. It is a brown leather, but if this had the black interior, it would be a black leather on the steering wheel. You can see your turn signals and wipers right up here, and then push in to wash. And then your headlamp controls are right over here. No fogs on this one. I don't believe, or actually there are fogs, I lied. That may be rear fogs though, I'm not 100% sure. There's your parking brake down there with your release right here. Here's your power door mirrors, power windows. All 4 are automatic up and down. 3-person memory seating, power seat controls, and I'll go ahead and get the seat adjusted to about where I would have it to drive. Gotta tilt the front way up. Still going. And that's all she's got. And you also have a power adjusting headrest. You can see just like so. So that is a nice feature. We'll lean the back up just a hair. The cabin in here does feel kind of tight, if I'm honest. You can see my knees are hitting both the center stack and the door, but that's okay. It's nice and cozy, and it doesn't feel like you're just gonna fling all over the place whenever you become so inclined to attack the tighter corners. Top of the door materials are all soft to the touch. You have this aluminum piece running right across the top of here. Power door locks, real metal door handle, because I can tell because it's cold. And then you have your burl walnut wood, and that was another option, I believe. Padded armrest, but it's not leather stitched, surprisingly. And then the bottom of the door is wrapped in cloth. And then here's the trunk. We'll release that here in a little bit, go over it. You can see this one does have the Harman Kardon stereo, and I just listened to it, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. It is so pure and crisp, and loads of bass. Harman Kardon makes an excellent stereo, in my opinion. So very well done on the stereo, Mercedes. Top of the dashboard, soft to the touch. Not that you could expect anything less from a Mercedes. Everything feels pretty sure-footed. This does wiggle around a little bit. You can see your tiny command screen center. If this one did have navigation, the screen would be a little bit bigger. It would extend further over here. But this one does not have navigation, but it is pre-wired, as you can tell by the Navi button right there. You have your air vents, more of the wood trim, and I believe that feels like real wood and looks like real wood to me, so I'm going to go ahead and say it is. Now, coming to the glove box, it is pretty decently sized. You can see it goes back pretty far, and then you have a little storage tray down there, and it is also lined in felt, and the lid is damped as well. We'll put those papers back, maybe. There we go. Lid sounds nice and solid when you close it. Here's your command controls. This is the power on for the radio. And then you have all your multifunction controls over here. 3-stage heated seat for the driver and passenger, dual zone automatic climate control. These controls do feel a little cheap and flimsy, I have to be honest. They're just not quite where I wish they were. You can see, here's your push button start, and this actually is just a little piece of plastic that pops out just like that, where the ignition key would go. But since this one has comfort access, you can see it has that right there. So that's pretty snazzy. Here's your, good grief. Here is your leather stitch shifter for your 7-speed automatic, and you have efficiency and sport modes right there. And you also have manual shiftability by putting it in drive and rocking it back and forth. Now here's your command controller right here. Some people like it, some people hate it. I think it's pretty easy to use. It's not the most intuitive, but it does okay. So it gets the job done for me. Good gosh. And you have your back button and clear right there. 2 cup holders. They're pretty decently sized. Mercedes aren't the best at cup holders. And I did forget to mention that you have a cigarette lighter right here. You can tell this is an older design because it does have a cigarette lighter in it. And it also has an ashtray, but you can remove that to make it a little storage tray if you wanted to do that. But I kind of like the look of the chrome in there, so that works for me. Coming to the center console, the lid is padded, but it's not stitched in leather, and it opens just like so. You can see you have your little 30-pin connector. They haven't switched over to lightning yet. And then you have an aux jack right there. Or if you wanted to, you could just unplug this. Well, I say you could. I don't know if this comes unplugged or not. It may be wired in there. I'm not sure. But it links with your smartphone, and you get all the fancy smartphone apps and stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and open up the trunk, I believe. Yeah, we'll go ahead and open up the trunk. And it opens just like that. Looking into the trunk of the Mercedes, it's not the largest trunk, if I'm honest. And it kind of slopes up at the back end, but it looks alright. And then up underneath here, well, you have your space-saving spare tire with all your tools necessary to change it back there. Fuse box located right back here, and then you have a first aid kit right back here. So that's nice of them that they give you that. Rear seats do also fold down. And then closing the trunk, just pop it down like that. And then coming into the back seat, this is where the seat class kind of starts to show its age. It's very tight back here. I've been in worse, but you can see my feet have just enough room to slide up under the back seat. You have mat pockets right back here, air vents, and they are adjustable. And you have a 12-volt power outlet right there, so that's nice that they include that. Another mat pocket on this side. Here's your lumbar support adjustment for the passenger side. And then materials back here, exactly the same as the front. This door panel kind of sounds a little hollow to me, especially for a Mercedes. But, I mean, it's okay. The rear seats are nicely reclined, so they are pretty comfortable. Thigh support is lacking a little bit, you can see. I could do with a little bit more of that. And then folding down the center armrest, it is wrapped in leather, or the MB Tex material, and then you can flip your cup holders out and shut the lid just like that. But what's kind of counterintuitive is in order to close the cup holders back, you have to open the lid and then close it back and then fold this back up. So it's okay. Not my favorite system in the world, but it does all right. And we'll go ahead and open up the hood as well. We'll check that out and see what's up underneath there. The tiny little 4-cylinder. And to open up the hood on the C-Class, all you need to do is get way down here, find this red lever right here, and pull on it, just like that. And there goes a fire truck. So that's fantastic. And then to open the hood, all you need to do is just find the little tab over here and lift up on it. It is assisted by hydraulic struts. And there you can see it is the 1.8 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Very tiny little engine, but very cleanly put together. And there's a very large hood hook right there. And I talked about the power and fuel economy over there. So it's a pretty efficient little engine and quite a quick little car too. You'd be surprised at how quick it is. But anyways, that really pretty much sums it up on this 2014 Mercedes-Benz C250. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and thanks for watching.